All right, this is 5.3 part 2 on elimination. Okay, this is going to be so when you guys are going back and watching my YouTube videos, which I don't think anybody really does, multiplying one equation. All right, so last night when you guys were doing the IXL, you guys noticed it changed, right? So at the start, so yesterday we had problems like question number 6, where the x's were the same, right? Same, subtract. Agreed? Liam, do you kind of remember that? Same, subtract, the x's were the same. But then what happens in number 1? Why is number 1 different than what we did yesterday? Oh, definition of a raised hand is hand above the shoulder, just to let you know. Your hand was above your shoulder. You were fixing your hair. Your head is above your shoulder. Hand is raised. Definition. Facts. Hope. One more time. Let's look at number 6. Do you see how the x's are the same in number 6? Yeah. Okay. Now, let's look at today's lesson. Look at number 1. What do you notice? What's the difference between the ones from yesterday and the ones from today? Okay, the top equation doesn't have numbers. Okay, Neve?
Neither of the variables are the same or similar. So
very good. Neither of the variables are the same or similar. Okay. Hope, do you see that? Do you see how like the x's aren't the same and the y's aren't the same? Whereas here, do you see how the y's aren't the same, but the x's were, so we're good to go. So what do I do with these problems? Well, it's quite simple, right? The simple part is this. Sophie, do you like x's or y's better for this problem? X, me too. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is you are going to decide on a variable. Now, this is where it gets kind of a little tricky because you have to pick the right variable. This problem, it doesn't matter. So I let Sophie pick. Now, can I make, let's look at this. These numbers that Hope said weren't here, they're 1s. Can I make a 1 a 2? Like, what do I do to 1 to make it a 2? Neve? Well, I don't want to divide. Dividing's no bueno. It's not good. Okay? Because when you divide, you get like fractions, right? So if I were to divide this second equation by 2, 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. I don't like that. Okay? I could do it, but I don't like it. Drew? I could add. But with adding changes like the outcome. Watch. Okay. If I have something like, I don't know, like x plus y equals 5. Okay. If I have something like that, and I just start like adding 1 to x and adding 1 to y. So let's just say x is 2 and y is 3. Right? 2 plus 3 is 5, but if I add 1 to x, that's 3, right? And if I add 1 to y, that's 4. And if I add 1 to 5, that's 6. Is 3 plus 4 equal to 6? No. So I can't really just kind of like add 1. I don't want to subtract. Adding and subtracting are like the same. Multiply. So what I want to do is I actually want to multiply. All right, and we're going to be doing only multiplication. All right, I want to multiply that top equation by what? Remember, I want to make the 1 a 2. So what do I have to multiply 1 by to get 2? So I'm going to multiply that top equation by 2. And through the properties of mathematics, okay, namely like the multiplication property of equality, which says if you multiply one side by something, you have to multiply the other side by the same thing, right? I'm just multiplying the left side by 2 and the right side by 2. But I'm kind of showing it through this distribution. So what I do is I have 2 times 1, that's 2, so I have 2x. 2 times 1, that's 2, so I have 2y. And 2 times 2 is 4. Right? Do you guys see how they're the same? Now, I'm just going to rewrite this bottom equation. So did you see how the x's are the same now? You picked x, so we multiplied the top equation by 2 to make them the same. Now, since they are the same, good box. Since they're the same, I'm going to subtract. So 2x minus 2x, they cancel. 2 minus 7, that's -5. 4 minus 9, that's -5. Divide by -5. Y equals 1. You okay, Harshan? All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of my equations. I have 3 of them. I have this one, which I made, okay? And I have the 2 original ones. So what I like to do is I like to look at those and see which one's going to be easier for me to get y or x by itself. And that's going to be the top one. Because look, it says x plus y equals 2. That looks easier to deal with than 2x plus 7y equals 9. And that looks easier than 2x plus 2y equals 4. So I'm going to write the top equation. And then I'm going to substitute in 1 for y. So I have x plus 1 equals 2. Subtract 1. X equals 1. My answer is 1, 1. You guys see how I did that? Now, is it always going to allow me to like pick either variable? No, it won't. Sometimes it's going to be like, yo, like you need to see, we need to make the x's the same, or we need to make the y's the same. Okay? Any questions? Can I move on to number 2 here? All right, let's look at number 2. If I'm looking at number 2, I want to pick a variable to get rid of. All right, I'm looking at this AJ, I see -10x and 5x. I just want to get rid of the x's. Is that okay with you? I could get rid of the y's, but I'm choosing the x's here. Why could I get rid of the y's? Well, I could make a 3 a 6. It's pretty easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to box these in. All right, oops, sorry, not yet. I'm going to choose to get rid of the x's. So I'm going to multiply this bottom equation by 2. That's going to give me 10x plus 12y equals -46. Oop, got it? And then I'm simply going to rewrite this top equation, which is -10x plus 3y equals 1. And I'm just rewriting it because I didn't do anything to it. And now I'm going to box this. Because they are opposites, I'm going to add. They cancel. So I have 3y plus 12y, that's 15y. 1 plus -46 is -45. Divide by 15. And I heard somebody get their calculator out, so I think the answer is -3. Now from here, I have 3 equations. I have the 2 original and then the bottom one here in the second column that I created. So what I want to do is I want to pick an equation that's just going to be easier for me to figure out what x is. Now I think the bottom one of my original, the 5x plus 6y equals -23, is easier. Because in the top one, I have a -10x, and at some point, that means I'm going to have to divide by a negative, and that's just a opportunity for me to make a mistake. So I'm going to go ahead and write the bottom one. And I'm going to draw my arrow to replace the y with a -3. So I have 5x plus 6y times -3 equals -23. It's 5x minus 18 equals -23. And then we're just solving a two-step equation. Right, Liam? And we've been doing that for a long time. Emma, you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Nate, you with me?
Yeah.
Nate, you see we tied the Orioles,
Yeah.
the team that had statistically a 0% chance of winning the World Series. So. Making money moves. That's a quote from the song. So we're going to add 18. I have 5x equals -5. Divide by 5. And that's x equals -1. So I'll write my answer over here. -1, -3. Any questions with those? Pretty straightforward, right? Okay, let's do one more example. All right, now in number 1, I told you it's not always going to be you can get rid of either one, right? Let's look at this. Can I make a 2 a 6? Yes. Can I make a 3 a 5? No. So in this case, I'm setting you up. Can you get rid of the y's? Yes, you can. That's tomorrow's lesson. But today's lesson is to recognize, hey, how do I make a 2 a 6? Well, I do that through multiplying by 3. So that gives me 6x plus 9y equals 15. Now I'm going to go ahead and write the top equation. And I'm going to let you guys see if you can figure out what x and y are. Did you watch the school board last night?
I do not. You gonna watch now or listen?
No.
They passed it, otherwise it'd be a big fun, don't you think?
I think there's always a big buzz no matter what. Put your fingers first on. You gotta move it. Now, you check your phone here.
No. No, it was like. It was like on the other side.
Our son got his hands shut,
Oh, that's it.
but he's here. He's there. He won't let anything stop him. All right, so we chose to get rid of the x's. All right, so we box them in. We're going to subtract 6 minus 6, that's 0. 5 minus 9, that's -4. 19 minus 15, that's 4. Divide by -4. and we get y equals -1. Now, since y is -1, I need to figure out what x is. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose the bottom equation, which is 2x plus 3y equals 5, because that looks pretty easy for me to figure out what x is. So I have 2x plus 3. Now, y is -1. So I have 3 times -1. I'm thinking that is -3. So I have 2x minus 3 equals 5. Add 3. 2x equals 8. And then divide by 2. We get x equals 4. AJ, did I get it right?
Yep.
All right. You just saying that?
I got it.
All right, cool. Hope you're okay with all this?
Yeah.
All right. All right. All right, so these are some of the Keystone practice problems. All right, and from the rumor I've heard that Keystones are still happening. That's what I heard. I could be lying though. You never know if I'm lying or telling the truth. It's just a test. Nothing big, no big deal. All right, so I'm going to read the problem, and then I want you guys to figure out, I guess, what it's asking. So it says Anna burned 15 calories per minute running for X minutes and 10 calories per minute hiking for Y minutes. She spent a total of 60 minutes running and hiking and burned 700 calories. The system of equations below can be used to determine how much time Anna spent on each exercise. What is the value of X, the minutes Anna spent running? All right, so see if you guys can figure it out. All right. Solve it using elimination. So try to get rid of one of the variables and go from there. Well, use elimination. Like, you know the answer, right? So like you do it, well, yep, that's it. All right, so key to this question, you can do it the hard way or you can do it the smarter way. Either way is fine. But the way I look at this is, Hope, what variable am I being asked to find, X or Y? X. So I'm being asked to find X, which when you think about it, it's going to seem kind of counterintuitive, but if I want X and I don't need Y, shouldn't I cancel out the Y and find X first? So, Angela, what should I multiply this bottom equation by to get rid of the Y?
10.
10. So if we multiply this by 10, the top equation remains 15x plus 10y equals 700. And on the bottom equation, we get 10x plus 10y equals 600. The y's are the same. So I subtract. Leaves me with 5x. They cancel, equals 100. X equals 20. And I'm done. Pretty straightforward, right? All right. Let's go to number 2. Again, same deal. I'll read it. You guys try and solve it. Samantha and Maria purchased flowers. Samantha purchased 5 roses for X dollars each and 4 daisies for Y dollars each. She spent $32 on the flowers. Maria purchased 1 rose for X dollars and 6 daisies for Y dollars each. She spent 22. The system of equations shown below represents the situation. Which statement is true? So, I think you got some solving to do. And then we'll go from there. I like how it Yeah.
Gotta do your own thing.
Trust me, I sound fine.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes guts.
Good show. I always thought I was.
Yep. Yeah.
I'll put the state part. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. So like started to Delaware art museum, run into the park, run along the stream. There's some big rock faces, for like climbing and stuff like that.
Cool.
And then there's a stream. There used to be an old textile mill. But they tore that down. They were building all new like apartments, which was gorgeous.
Mhm.
But like, there's just something about like old. Yeah. Well, let's see. Because it's talking about dollars, right?
Yes.
So dollars could be like the decimal, right? So that does make sense. So you run along the stream, and then the stream starts like veering off.
Mhm.
You run up like a little hill down, and then you're underneath like 202 and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So you get to like the bridge, and then you pop out the Brady Line too.
Oh,
So it's only like a mile and a half in, but it's like,
it's only a mile and a half, right?
well, to that part.
Okay.
Like there's like there's like a trail that
Sounds
goes up, but I wanted to make it like a big loop. So then we ran through the city of Wilmington.
Mm.
and then picked up the back end of the trail
Mhm.
and then ran that trail all the way.
And can you do a bike on that trail? Is it paved or dirt?
Paved,
Oh,
and then it drops you out of the streets. Like the streets.
mm-hmm.
It was kind of like busy Saturday. Was. All right, let's look. So in number two, I want to simply multiply this by 5. It's going to give me 5x plus 4y equals 32. And then I have 5x plus 30y equals 110. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract to cancel out my x's. So 4 minus 30 is negative 26. And then 110 minus 32, I'm kind of thinking that way in my brain so I can do it. So I kind of think of like 11 minus 3, that's like 8. So I'm thinking like 80, and then I take 2 more off. So I'm going to get negative 78, right? And then I divide by negative 26. And I get y equals what? 3? So I got y equals 3. So y equals $3. Because remember, we're talking about dollars. Now, since y is dollars and I need x for the cost of the roses, I'm simply going to just pick that bottom equation. It looks way easier than the top equation. So I'm going to replace that y with a 3. So I have x plus 6 times 3 equals 22. So x plus 18 equals 22. X equals 4. Okay, I like that. So if x is $4 and y is $3, a rose costs 1 more than a daisy. That is true. Samantha spent $4 on each daisy. Well, let's see. $4 on each daisy. No, because daisies cost $3. Samantha spent more on daisies than roses. So Samantha purchased 5 roses. Well, that's false because 5 times 4 is going to be more than 4 times 3. All right. And then Maria spent 6 times as much on daisies as she did on roses. Well, that's false. So the correct answer is. All right. So the one thing I want you to do again tonight is take your new knowledge of how to solve systems of equations through elimination, through multiplying, and see if you can get any further on U10. Okay, you might be able to get like 1 or 2 more questions, but play around with it, see what you can do. Tomorrow is going to be, I guess, like we're going to be doing more of this and moving on. Sound good? All right, so again, this is a big section, so we have a lot to go over.